Well, good morning, as it is here, nice sunny morning in Portland, Australia. I thought it was about time I explained why Jenny and I want to produce a YouTube channel on our life and the products we make. From the beginning, I am a toy maker and have been a toy maker since I was a child. I had the good fortune of being raised by my granddad, who was born in the 1880s, so all the toys I had as a child belonged to his time. And over the next 60 odd years, I maintained my interest in toy making, even though I had a career for a while as a school teacher. So it's a long story, but I have been involved in working with handicapped children, so I developed educational toys. And then in a Borstal situation in England, where I was working with boys with a lot of problems, but I found that the therapy of giving them woodwork really made a difference to their lives. Fast forward, in 2012, I was doing a series of interesting studies on woodworkers around the world, and I was going to write a book possibly, but having visited China and Russia and the Ukraine, I was visiting the Philippines and everything changed. In the hotel where I was staying, I met a young lady. I was talking to everyone saying, do you know any good woodworkers? And this particular lady said, yes, where my dad works. And I said, oh, that's interesting, where's that? And she said, oh, Bilibid Maximum Security Prison. So that made a huge change to my life, because she introduced me to the superintendent, and they were very keen on having someone teaching. And I said, well, what can you give me to assist me in this work? And the superintendent said, nothing but a lot of boys. I don't mean boys. He said prisoners. We have 28,000 prisoners, and they're all keen on learning. So since 2012, I set up a workshop in the prison and did the best I could to teach a group of boys and assist them in learning skills. So that's one of the reasons I have such a wide range of toys. Basically, it's strange though it may sound, the whole project was financed by wooden horses, which is my main product, as you'll see later. Meanwhile, I'll show you some of the products and explain how they were made. The work in Bilibid unfortunately had to end when COVID came about, but I spent, I think, probably 7 or 8 years regularly returning there, teaching, and we had problems in the lack of materials. When I first went there, I said to the boys, what wood do we have available? And they said, oh, Sir Christopher, we only have Palishina. And I said, oh, well, that's interesting. What does a Palishina tree look like? And they pointed to just old pallets. Funnily enough, we had to buy the pallets. But so all of our toys were made out of recycled materials if possible, because we didn't have the funds. So I can give you an example. This sailing boat, for example, that is a feed bag, and the two ends are out of recycled Palishina, and it's quite a nice little unit that actually floats. The other one we developed, this one's called Bobby, and another recycled toy. The body of the boat, the hull, is made out of recycled polystyrene boxes, which are quite common, and this is shopping bags. And the keel actually is a 2-bob piece. That's why it's called Bobby. And this is quite a popular toy we sell at shows. Well, that means, well, basically, one of the things that I did with our products from Bilibid, I would sell them at country shows all around Australia, and the money would go back then to fund the project. Something I think is interesting. This ship in a bottle, this is very common in the prison. They do these. different to the European way. They actually assemble it with long tweezers. And when I arrived in Manila airport sometimes with a suitcase full of bottles, people wondered what I was up to, but I was always collecting bottles to bring to the boys. The Bilibid project was quite exciting for me, and I was sad when it finished. But during my time in the Philippines, I've met many interesting people, and I met my Jenny, and now we're married and we have a little farm in Bohol, and we're continuing working with making toys. And one of the reasons we're doing this YouTube is to inform people about life in the Philippines and in Australia. And I hope you find this interesting.